Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you my spicy Jinzo Snatcher combination. Now this deck was inspired and also suggested by my boy Playmaker. He made a really cool version using Ice Princess, I think that's the name. But I'm gonna use my boy Jinzo because I like Jinzo better than Ice Princess, and I don't get to use my boy that much, so I wanted to try him out with Snatcher. Obviously, when you normal summon your Jinzo, when you tribute summon, you're gonna get to special summon Snatcher and go for beatdown. That gives you 3,000 beaters on board, and your opponent cannot activate any traps. So it's pretty cool. The deck list is pretty standard. We have 2 Snatcher, 3 would be too much and way too bricky. If it was a 6-star, it would be a lot better, but it would almost be broken actually if it was just a 6-star. So we have the 2 Snatcher, 2 Jinzo, 1 Jinzo Ejector. This card is really cool because not only can he search my Jinzo and special summon it if my opponent's running traps, I get to see my opponent's back row, whether they're traps or not, and I'll search my Jinzo regardless. And on top of that, he has 2,000 defense, so it's not the easiest thing to get over. So it's a pretty safe turn 1 set. Your opponent can't get over it. The next turn you tribute to search a Jinzo, and if they have back row that are traps, you get to special summon the Jinzo, which is really cool. Unfortunately, we only have one of them. That's why the Jinzo deck is still not, you know, viable. But he works perfectly here. 3 Dyne Ethereum, basic special summonable card for free, basically. 3 Sphere Karibo because I want to play from my hand. All my spells are quick play spells, so I'm trying to OTK and I'm trying to make my opponent commit by you know, not setting anything, just playing my Karibos from the hand to stay alive, and then do my big push. I'm running 2 Zaborg, the Thunder Monarch, just so I can have more tributes. 1 Blackwing Gust, the Blast, the Back Blast. This is another monster that you can special summon in order to get a easy tribute fodder. I was using Thunder Vassal for a little bit, but the token really messed up my OTK, so I was like, I don't want to have to rely on, I don't want to give my opponent a token. One time I couldn't deal enough damage because of the token. Another time they used the token to econ take and stop my play. So I went with Back Blast, and I added Vice Dragon. Vice Dragon is really good because it serves a dual purpose. You can special summon it to for tribute fodder as long as your opponent controls another monster and you control no monsters, or you can tribute for it, and if you have a Snatcher, you get to summon that Snatcher. So I like the dual utility of the Vice Dragon. The rest of the spells on back row, enemy controllers for econ take. You're gonna be summoning 2 monsters for a big push, so it's always nice to have the econ. Maybe, you know, for that final push, econ take, tributing one of your monsters. Normally you're gonna tribute the Snatcher because you still want the trap protection from Jinzo, and then go from game that way. Offerings does a similar purpose. You can attack, check for a Karibo. If there's no delay, you activate your offerings, the field is now clear, and you can just OTK your opponent. So the deck is pretty you know, pretty normal. I like the Snatcher. Right now I didn't want to really use it with Monarchs, and like I said, my boy Playmaker was telling me just try it with Jinzo, see how it works, and it was a lot of fun. He kept telling me to use 3 Jinzos in the deck, by the way. Newsflash Playmaker, there's only 2 Jinzos available at the moment, unless you're using the Esperos skill, but you know, appreciate the thought. So here we're going up against, oh, I'm using beatdown, by the way, for the obvious attack boost. Going up against a Joey Wheeler. Not the best of hands, but we do have 2 Karibos and 1 offerings, so the chances of us dying here are very, very slim. We're going up against Laval, last gamble. He's gonna set 2 back row, set 1 monster, and because I didn't set anything, like I said, I don't want to set stuff, especially after I know that I'm going up against Laval. I meant to pause it and I was fast forwarding. So he's forced to use his Dust Flame Blast to destroy his own cards, just to get the engine going, you know, get a banish monster. Now he can go for the Synchro Summon into a Laval Dragon. Molten Conducting Field is going to send Flogus. I wasn't using this card, but the effect is pretty cool. When this card is sent to the graveyard, all Laval monsters you currently control gain 300 attack, and it is permanent. So he has the OTK. Like I mentioned, I didn't set anything. I forced, well, not forced, but you know, I made my opponent overextend by him just seeing the opportunity to OTK, and I have my Sphere Kribo. So I just need to pick up something that I can special summon. We're gonna get a Dynatherium. He gets a monster, which is unfortunate. So instead of going for the Jinzo, since there's no back row right now, I'm gonna go for a Saborg so I can clear 2 monsters off the board. One with the effect, another one with the attack. And I have an Offerings. I know he's gonna banish to destroy this, so I'm gonna go ahead and chain it immediately. I figure he had to top deck a Laval Cannon in order for this to be any real threat. So I was okay with him banishing to try to destroy my Offerings. We're gonna get rid of the Flogus. He's forced to end turn. Unfortunately, I don't draw, so I don't get another monster to summon. We're gonna see the last gamble. He rolls a 2, which means he can't really do much. He's gonna set double back row, and we're gonna tilt him with the Jinzo summon into the Snatcher. Obviously, the Jinzo was enough, but I'm pretty sure there was at least 1 dust trap card in there, so he must have been pretty salty. Why is this happening again? Why am I being kicked out? Is it only on GX that it kicks you out every time you try to play a replay? I'm trying to think, in what other video was that happening? Now I'm thinking it's GX, because last video when I was using who was I using? Man, I have the worst memory. Who was I using in my last deck? I was using Bandit Keith with Switcheroo. That wasn't happening. So I wonder if it's like a GX Lich. We're going up against Odeon, which is the dream matchup. We pick up Ejector at the beginning. We see an Amazonas, 3 back row. Easy W for us. Jinzo Ejector, he's gonna flip over the mirror wall, doesn't matter. As long as one of the other 2 are a trap, I'm gonna be able to special summon my Jinzo. Nice. And no need to, I didn't want to overextend, go for Thunder Basil, and I couldn't even summon this thing because it's a 2 tribute. But basically, I didn't want to have 2 monsters on the field and get hit by a Lava Golem. I have him locked down. He picks up another Amazonosaurus Woman, so good on him. I'm just going to normal summon the Mithra, go for the attack, check for a Kribo, Econ take for game, or try to before he scoops. Yeah, I guess this is just with GX. I'm gonna check after I finish recording this video because this is super annoying. I'll have to stay away from using GX characters if this keeps happening. Alright, so next we have a Crowler. Some Ancient Gear action, I believe. We pick up a Ejector at the beginning again, which is great. And this guy did not know how Ejector works, I believe, because he didn't have to. I didn't have to lock him down the way I do. When I activate my my Ejector's effect, he should have chained. You'll see his cards. He should have chained the Unending Nightmare right there and pop his Gear Town. Actually, he couldn't pop his Gear Town, now that I think about it. Yeah, there was nothing he could do, because if he destroys this as a Chain Link 2, he misses the timing. So yeah, we see the Wall Tornado and the Unending Nightmare. We're gonna lock both of those cards down when Jinzo hits the field. And now he's completely locked. He can destroy this, he can destroy that, pass his turn, and I just finish him up. So Jinzo better than Ancient Gears confirmed. Stop kicking me out, game. That is so incredibly annoying. Luckily these replays are pretty fast because the deck is OTK oriented. But why? Alright, here we're going up against Yusei, and I believe this was another Ancient Gear, but this was an Ancient Gear hybrid with Silent Magician, and I kind of misplay, but the replay was too good not to show. So look at my hand. I have 2 offerings to the Doom. I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, no problem. Summon your Ancient Gear. What I did not expect was that Silent Magician. I'm like, okay, that ruins everything. But I get a godly top deck. We're gonna get an enemy controller, so we're gonna activate 1 offerings to the Doom right here, so we can get that immediate negation, baiting out the negate. And this is the quote-unquote misplay. What I end up doing, you guys will see. I'm gonna econ take the Ancient Gear and then destroy the Silent Magician. And in my brain, I was doing it this way so that I wouldn't get a Silent Magician level 8 on board. But what I should have done was econ take the Silent Magician, tribute the Silent Magician for my Jinzo, and then use my second offerings to the Doom on the Ancient Gear reactor. Because what I do here is I destroy the Silent Magician and then I activate the offerings. But I could have done the exact same thing, just kept the Jinzo on board without triggering the Silent Magician. I'm gonna skip my draw phase. He doesn't pick up anything, which is good. I get a Dynatherium, tribute for Jinzo, and that's how we get the win. So yeah, like I could have had the Jinzo there and won a turn earlier. But I didn't see the play. I didn't see the play until after I econ took. I was like, wait, I could have just distributed the Silent Magician. So a bit of a forehead move by me, but luckily it didn't cost me. And this is the last replay that I'm going to show you guys. And I need to test like right away. I'm gonna try to watch a replay using a different character, not from GX, and see if the bug happens in GX, or maybe it's just Crowler, but I can't remember what other video that was happening on. So we're going up against Leo. Good starting hand for us. We have Ejector on the field. I mean Ejector in our hand. And as soon as I saw the Merchant, I was like, okay, he can't Synchro Summon. He's not going to be able to destroy my Jinzo Ejector. He's going to set 2 back rows. So my 2 options here were to flip summon my Jinzo Ejector, giving him a chance to maybe activate whatever was down here. I decided to just go for the tribute. Instead of getting a special summon, I'm getting the tribute, which means I'm also going to get my Illusionary Snatcher. Unfortunately, Karakuri do run a lot of spells, and I'm going to get hit by an Offerings to the Doom right here, which is unfortunate. But I still have my Snatcher and 2 Sphere Kribas. So he's going to go for Beret. And once again, because I'm not playing with back row, I'm playing with hand traps, he overextends here a little bit by summoning Karakuri Ninja. He's going to flip that into attack position, draw 2. Goes for the attack, I Kuribo that, and Karakuri monsters are forced to attack if they're in attack position. So he's going to have to suicide right here, which is good for me. I pick up a Vice Dragon, which is a little unfortunate, and he's going to use a second Offerings to the Doom. At least he doesn't get to draw, which is good for us. And I could have won right here, but I was really afraid about this card. I didn't know what it was. So I decided to use special summon my Vice Dragon and end my turn. What I could have done is what I end up doing this turn. I'm going to use my Kuribo again. And I could have done this play last turn. Activate my enemy controller. Switch this into defense mode. The previous turn, I could have switched this into defense mode using the Beret effect. Activate beatdown and attack. So once again, I should have won, a turn earlier, but I didn't see the play immediately. I think what happened in this particular one is I activated beatdown with Vice Dragon way too early, and then I couldn't, obviously, if I econ took at that point, I wasn't going to get the beatdown boost and it wasn't going to be lethal, so I had to wait an additional turn. But yeah, this deck was really fun. I love using my boy Jinzo. It's a cool combo with Illusionary Snatcher, but definitely Ice Princess is a little bit better because it also takes care of spells for that turn. But you know, when you have double prismatic Jinzo, you gotta show him off every once in a while. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description. I love my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. I really appreciate that. And until next time.